been in a place and instantly felt like home? Well, for me, that was in a dance studio. It was one of the first places that I actually felt like me. And I can still remember what it feels like walking up the steps to that dance studio for the first time. And I still can hear the rhythm of the dance shoes on the wooden floor and the music bouncing off the studio walls. You see, I come from a small town in Ohio. I was actually the smallest baby born that year. And when you were born, they placed a baby rattle in your crib, a football or a pink doll. Yes, I was born in the town of Friday Night Lights, where football is king and everyone played football, especially boys. And for me, that's not what I wanted, but as fate would have it, I would have another story because I wanted to dance. And however, my dance studio experience was short-lived because my father had said, boys do not dance, they play football. And if you decide to do that, then you need to pay for it. Well, I did that my senior year in high school. And at age 21, I found myself on a stage with elite dancers at a competition. You see, that dance studio experience was the beginning of my leadership story. And I believe that everyone has a leadership story, whether they realize it or not. Your leadership story is made up from the values you exhibit, the decisions that you make, and how you show up to lead. And yes, I believe that everyone is a leader, regardless of their role or the position they hold in an organization. And at this moment, you are a leader. And I also believe that you can develop your leadership story with one simple question. Who are you becoming? Becoming is defined as the process of coming to be something. And as I am here with you today, you may see a person of color, a bald head, or a guy with some good eyebrows. Yes, I am excited about my eyebrows because my brother used to call me Bert from that show Sesame Street because of my unibrow. However, what you are not seeing at this moment is who I've become to be here with you today. And I remember tapping into that, who are you becoming for the first time. Remember the story about the 21-year-old on a stage at a dance competition? Well, one of the things that I failed to tell you is that my peers had been dancing for decades longer than I, and mine was only about years of dancing. However, I had one thing in my favor. I loved to dance. I may not have known the terminology, however, I loved to dance. I may not have been able to pick up on the steps as quick as everyone else. However, I loved to dance. And during that week of that competition, each day I would be the first one to practice, to become. And each day I would dance near the best in the class to make sure I picked up on the steps and the style the fastest, to become. And each day I would dance well into the night, to become. And each day I showed up to become. And by the end of that week, I felt more confident and stronger in myself and also in my dance. I still can remember what that transformation feels like to this day. And when there are times that I second guess myself, or that I don't believe in myself, or I do not trust Kipp, I stand on that stage as a 21-year-old again, who loved to dance and become. As leaders, who do we need to become to lead our organizations, to conquer that dream, or to show up in an authentic way? I believe that you can define becoming and your leadership story in three simple terms. How do you show up mentally, physically, and emotionally to achieve your goals? I call that B mode. You heard me, be mode. How are you using those 3 traits of physically, emotionally, and mentally to show up, to become, to conquer your goals? Zig Ziglar says, it's not what we get out of our goals that is the most important. It's actually who we become when we're achieving our goals. So I would love for you to think about a goal. Actually, what I would love for you to do is pull out your cell phone. Pull out your cell phone and actually write down a goal that you have to achieve this week. Text that to yourself. Now, remember the 3 B mode traits, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Think of a task related to those that relates to your goal and text that to yourself as well. See, you now are on the way to creating your leadership story. You now are on your way of becoming. So who are you going to become to actually achieve your leadership goals?